Hey, sports fans, Coach Nick here, and welcome to the B-Ball Breakdown live show coming at you, as always, on a Monday morning. And as always, I'm joined by Andrew Combo Sal to discuss the latest and the greatest in the NBA. And we've got some doozies to talk about today for sure. Combo, are you there?
I'm here. I'm looking forward to the NBA Cup final, actually. I think it's going to be interesting. We got my hometown team, the Knicks, versus the most box office player in the NBA today, Victor Wembanyama. So it should be, should be fun.
Okay. So Wemby,
I mean, he's not the best. The best player is Jokic, but I think Wemby's the most box office.
Well, I think the other point would be is that, for sure, Wemby will be the greatest of all time. I don't think you can say anything else. Can you?
You can't say for sure until he gets the championships, and then, God willing, he stays healthy. But, he definitely has a great chance.
Well, let me ask you this real quick before we have to talk about the Lakers and the Suns. It was insane. If you didn't see it, we're going to go through some clips. It'll be really exciting, but you got to see the game too. And then someone's ready for me to say the Lakers earned the win and their eyes are lying to us. I haven't even taken a step back to figure out who deserved to win. The Lakers had a big lead and they completely melted down in the end. But we got to talk about why that happened. But let's get back to Wemby. If Wemby continues on his current path and displays the kind of domination at 22 that he has, and we can assume he'll get better, and he doesn't win a title, does that mean he can't be the GOAT?
I feel like we put too much stock into team awards when we're comparing individuals, but at the same time, you can't go ringless, I think, and be the GOAT.
Interesting. I mean, because the guy is going to end up having numbers. You
got at least have one to be the GOAT, right? You got to at least have one.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure I'm going to argue with you on that one. I mean, here's the problem. It's like guys like Barkley and Malone and Stockton and all those guys who didn't win a ring, it shouldn't really diminish how good their impact was or how profound it was on the court.
Even if Barkley or Malone had two, they wouldn't be the GOAT.
Yeah, right. Okay. I mean, that's true because we're trying to get to the GOAT, the number one. All right, fair enough. Yeah. So you got to have some standards.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough. All right, so we'll give him that one.
But I do think, if he stays healthy, he's going to win a championship, at least one. To me, Wemby.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, listen, they're getting positioned right now with the team that they have. A lot of really good players. And remember, they went 9-3 without him in that stretch. And so you're going to say, oh, maybe Wemby isn't that big of a deal. And this is the voiceover for the video I'll be doing. But I think the point was that they were beating up on some teams. There was Memphis in there. I mean, I would think of the 9 wins, 6 of them were easy. They were already better talent-wise without him on the floor even.
Here's something I'm actually going to put a clip about on Instagram soon, which I talked about this a little bit. So you're of the mindset that every generation gets better, right?
In what?
In basketball.
In skill, individual skill?
In basketball, in the sport of basketball.
I mean, give me a little more specific about
is it a yes or no, Coach Nick? It could be no for you.
I'm just asking. I know what you're asking me.
Does the sport of basketball get better every generation?
Yeah. Okay.
How about the players? Do the players get better every generation? How about that?
Yeah.
Now, you said Wemby, in your opinion, maybe not, wouldn't even have to win a ring, right? Maybe not, maybe yes. I kind of convinced you a little bit, right? Maybe he has to win one. Okay, yeah. Jokic has one.
Right.
And he's clearly the best player of this generation. And if we agree every generation gets better, doesn't that mean that Jokic is the GOAT?
Interesting. Can that get him over Michael Jordan? Jeez. Okay, well, by your reasoning, then it would have to be rings then. Ring count, perhaps?
I guess we got to put it all into consideration. I would say Jordan's debate would be that he was clearly better than his generation more than Jokic is better than his generation.
That's another. That's one thing for sure I could probably get with. And then, listen, if Jokic wants to, does Jokic need 2? Does he need half as many as Michael to kind of get over there?
If he gets five, I mean, it also depends on the fashion in which a player gets it. But if he gets 5, there'll still be arguments that even if he gets 6, maybe I think Michael Jordan enthusiasts might still have Jordan.
It's a tough one. It's a really tough one, without question. But we have to, I guess to take the emotion out of it, you got to come up with very strict, okay, three titles, or else he can't do it. I don't know, but
everybody has their own standards, right? So that's what makes this difficult.
And Jokic is going to end up eclipsing anything numbers wise I think that Michael ever did, right? And that's not necessarily fair to Michael because the pace is a lot faster and all those different things. But And Michael did have defense that Jokic doesn't necessarily have, but Wemby does. And so Wemby will have the kind of impact on both ends of the floor we've never, ever, 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 ever seen.
I agree with you. I think that's why he has to be top 5 now. Yeah, there's probably a few players better than him offensively, but when you put in the two-way impact, I mean, he's top 5 in the NBA right now.
Without question. He is definitely. I mean, you'd have to put him up above. I mean, he's over Giannis at this point, right?
I mean, Giannis hasn't been playing. The team is losing, so I would say so, yeah.
I think Giannis is back. I think he came back. But either way.
It's close, though. It's definitely close between those two, but Wemby will eclipse him soon. If not, he's not right now,
All right. Yeah. Are we ready to talk about Suns and Lakers?
Yeah, cool game. Interesting game. Dillon Brooks and LeBron just need to, I don't know. What do you think? MMA, boxing? They should just get it done somewhere, man,
Yeah. Well, okay. We have to talk, so Brooks is one of those guys. There's a list in the NBA, right? The instigators. It's like Marcus Smart, and we had him on the floor too. We can talk about him too. Dillon Brooks, Draymond Green. Oh boy, I'm missing somebody. Draymond, Dillon Brooks, the villains, Marcus Smart, and they're really big instigators. They're going to get you off your game. It's not easy. Well, maybe it is. Is it easy to get LeBron off his game and get him angry and into his head?
I mean, they won, and he hit the game-winning free throws for this one. So, I mean, it didn't get him out his game for this one, right? Even though he was.
It did, but he's got his act together by the end, right? Like, there's no question that Brooks was extremely successful, and we'll see why in a minute, exactly why. What he was able to do to get LeBron completely out of his mind.
Was he? I think there's a world where Dillon doesn't instigate him at all. LeBron doesn't get mad. Maybe LeBron doesn't play as hard as he would, and the Suns win too, right?
I mean, there were some really bad, there's a couple turnovers in there, missed shots that also could have been related to.
I know, even like, I'm not comparing me to LeBron, but I know even if I go to the gym and somebody starts talking to me, I'm going to bring up my game a little bit more,
Well, that's the fine line, because bringing up the game versus getting so angry in your head that you kind of start to play poorly. And I think that might have been. Now, there isn't Brooks got into foul trouble in the very beginning of the third quarter and didn't play pretty much the entire third when the Lakers went on a run to take a commanding lead. I got a buddy who's got advanced analytics that seem to indicate that when that Brooks is not as valuable as a player as you might think. And if you were going to, let's say, gamble against, Phoenix, the more Brooks plays, the more likely they're going to lose.
That is not the case in the beginning of the season, even though they're kind of dipping now. But
I would agree. I mean, what you're seeing, and what won't show up on stats, is how much he gets the other team out of their minds, and that means they'll play poorly. Draymond Green, by the way, is one guy who gets people out of their minds, and then they might play poorly. But when he gets insane, he actually does seem to be able to play well, or to execute. Most players don't, I don't think.
Also, if you have a teammate playing that hard, I mean, it kind of ups the level of the team. So he has that effect as well.
And by the way, the Suns are physical, man. Like, this is a team that did not play physical like this last year. They're getting up into you, and they're putting the pressure on you, and they're really making it. And there's no other explanation other than it's Dillon Brooks. Him coming there and doing that is really what did it. You're even getting guys like Booker, kind of getting into the mix a little bit too, which is exciting. So let's go through some of these clips, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let me find it here. Where is it? Okay. So can we see this? All right. Should we go? We'll just kind of keep it a little bit smaller than this. We'll have it, whatever. But okay, let's see what we have our first play. Our first play is, remember, this is in the beginning of the third quarter, and LeBron gets a switch with Gillespie on him, and he wants to duck in. I think he's unhappy there wasn't a foul call. Does he look at the referee here? Yeah, he goes, hey, he grabbed my waist. But does that excuse the fact that he doesn't even get back in the frame pretty much until the layup, or after even the layup? You got to run down the court, I think, even though you're old.
There's a lot of plays that LeBron won't make the extra effort these days.
Yeah. And again, he needs to be able to prioritize his energy. I get it. But I'm looking at, sort of as this is going winding down, what led to this issue here we have here with Brooks going, he shoots it, he gets fouled. I think Luka, it was the guy that got called. He clearly reaches in and hits him across the arm. And then you can see this, Luka wants a replay, which is insane because he hit him. Which is why coaches are careful about this, right? But when the players say, "Oh, you got to review, you got to be careful. You got to check it on their video before you do it."
Where is Dillon going here?
Yeah, well, the shot clock was winding down.
Oh, okay.
Making the dribble, he's got to find some opening there. But he's a fadeaway, whatever. But if you notice what he does here, the ball's loose and he just kind of boop and hits it. And where does the ball hit? It hits LeBron on his name.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Now, this is funny. Watch. LeBron's like, okay, wait a minute. You just hit me. Like, it was almost a delayed response. And he's like, you can't be doing that. So now we have here, and here's the replay. Boom. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hit him in the name. Hit him in the shoulders. Now, would you say that LeBron James has big shoulders?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably got some of the bigger, stronger shoulders in the league. Do you think it's going to bother him too much?
No.
No. So what bothers him most about this whole thing?
It's with Dillon.
But was it the pain of the shoulder and the ball hitting him in the shoulder?
No, it might have been the shock. It might have been the shock value, but no.
But so what is it really? What is it?
I just told you it's the shock value of Dillon slapping the ball at his shoulder.
I don't think so. I think it's the disrespect, and I think that for someone like LeBron, this is a bridge too far, right? And by the way, LeBron deserves as much respect as you can get. He is, he was at least until Wemby's going to take it, the GOAT or the second GOAT or whatever he is, right? So this is the kind of thing you're not supposed to do this, right? And he's talking. That's basically what he's saying. He's like, you can't do this. Now, here's what gets interesting. He gets really handsy with the ref. But again, he hit him. This is nothing. This should have been LeBron wouldn't even noticed it hit him, right? But when he realized, he's like, wait a minute, that is disrespect to the nth degree. You cannot do that to me. I am the GOAT, right? Le GOAT, Le King, whatever. He wants to crown himself, whatever. So, but look what happens here with the ref. This is interesting. People wanted something to happen to LeBron. Now, I think the ref's trying to hold him back and just kind of dissipate this whole thing. Now, there's a little bit of a touch here underneath that arm, but I don't think
is that JJ?
Yeah, JJ had to come all the way. So this is nothing with the ref. This is the ref really kind of sort of pushing LeBron back, and LeBron just sort of like needing to say he needed to make it clear, you don't do that to me, And so, but this is something interesting. You don't normally see LeBron that animated, and so clearly there's stuff going on. So let's see the next clip here. Now watch. This was Dillon Brooks' fifth foul that got him on the bench for a whole big stretch of the game, and then it turned the game. But look, the Suns were up by 3, and then they end up down a whole lot by the end of the third quarter. But, this is an interesting reaction. I meant, Did I get the replay of this one? I don't think I did.
Did he break his rib or something?
I mean, you would think so, right? When this was nothing. Now look at Brooks. Brooks is smiling because he's like, I got him, right? He's like, this is now, look what he's resorted to.
Or he might be smiling like, I didn't even hit you that hard while you flopping like that. Could be that. That's too.
What he's saying right here. This is the flopping sign right there.
Yeah.
Flopping. So he thinks that, okay, I have to go out for a while. I got the fifth foul, but we have the 3-point lead. I think he's like, this is great. We got him, like, right, But meanwhile, look at LeBron. LeBron doesn't react, right? He gives him the stare down. So now that's the indication to me. Like he got it all out of him, and now he's ready to kind of go to work and whatever. Now let's see here. At this point, the Lakers are up by 5. We had an interesting play here with Booker. So another one of those things. It looks like a clean play, right?
Mm-hmm.
Strip. He comes down, whatever. I think
the right arm.
Oh, so you can't see that in real time. Like
I could see it right now easily. Yeah.
I would say in real time that right arm is not necessarily getting any kind of push, but what it really was doing is, as we see here, he grabs the.
Nah, he got that right arm on him.
But if you had your arm on again, you're not actually overtly pushing anybody. They're not going to call that, especially
from the back with a swipe down, maybe.
Yeah. And so the swipe down actually, believe it or not, is kind of clean in my mind. This looks pretty clean. Because remember, hand's part of the ball, which comes up later. Oh, that actually is very clean. I don't think he even got the hand. This is a very, very clean play. So they might not call, but what they should have been calling was, look what he's doing. See his hand getting a handful of jersey? So he's pulling the jersey back, which is an old vet trick, right? I can pull you back as you're going to try and go off of 1 foot, and you're not going to be able to explode off the ground.
Which is a little dangerous too, actually.
Yeah.
I'm having a conversation if somebody does that to me in the gym. Definitely.
Yeah, I hear you. Oh, okay.
Don't grab my shirt while I'm in front of you.
Yeah. And so, although I would argue this is a vet trick where it's not necessarily as dangerous, it's a way to slow him down more and actually propel me more forward, so I get a better angle at the clean strip, right? All those things. So the lead official, who's too close to the play, by the way, is stacked. She can't see that, so it's not her call. She can't see it. I guess the trails are probably they're too far away to see it. So this is one of those things where Booker kind of knows she's not going to see it. The other guys are probably far enough away where they're not going to see it either. So it's a very savvy vet move, just so we can see that. Now let's get to Marcus Smart. Played pretty well in the first quarter, by the way, probably as well as I'd ever seen him play for the Lakers in the first quarter, and they were doing nicely. But this is the kind of stuff that if you can't play him 30 minutes a game, because this is what's going to happen, something like this. Can you
What
any reason for him to do anything like this?
No,
there's no reason. Plus, Booker is trailing here. This is
unless he didn't even see Grayson.
You don't
I
think
don't
he
know.
saw Grayson?
Yeah, that was crazy. Why not just lay it up though? What the fuck?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, sorry to curse. Damn, that might be my first real curse on B-ball breakdown history.
It was merited, combo, because this is the kind of play he'd be out of the game before the whistle even blew.
Why don't you think he laid it up?
It's Marcus Smart. I think he doesn't. He's worried he's going to miss it. Is there any other reason he's worried? I mean, he can't be worried that Grayson Allen's going to block.
He might not be confident in that left hand on that left side.
Any and all of the above. It's just an absolutely terrible play, and look what happens.
Crazy 5-point swing.
Yeah. Now, it would be nice in this one if LeBron. So LeBron got stuck. He's got two players, and Gillespie's a good shooter too. So I get it. But the ball is the more important thing. You got to make the guy pass it. Got to get out there, make him pass it, make one more. Maybe somebody gets to Gillespie before he gets there. I don't know.
Shouts to Gillespie because it felt like he was kind of like a borderline NBA guy, but he's making his way now. It's
terrific. Cool. He really is tough. He's tough, man. He's just tough mentally. Yeah. Okay. Now, what's this one? This is okay. So here's an interesting thing because you got Luka and you're up by 11. So this is one of those moments where LeBron wants to do the FU, and put his signature stamp on it, because this should be Luka with the ball and creating something in my mind.
Well, he got that thing with Dillon, and he wants to be the guy to win the game.
Yeah. So this is sort of like Dillon influence in the background in my mind, because again,
I would agree, but that don't necessarily mean it doesn't work out for the Lakers either.
Right?
He might have more. He might actually have more motivation than Luka.
Yeah.
For this game,
Okay, this is freezing on me, but it's working with the space bar. So, but
that's a tough shot, though. That's a tough shot. Oh,
yeah.
Is the shot clock going down? No.
All right, so quick time's not letting me go. I'm gonna have let me do this one more time because it's. Are you there?
I'm here.
All right, I'm frozen. Oh, shit.
You're not frozen. You're not frozen to the viewers.
Okay. I mean, I can't even get control of the. There we go. Hang on. Let me try this again. Oh wow. Anyway, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. I can't even move my my something's going on. Let me quit out of some stuff, or maybe that's what it is. But anyway, let's see if this will help. So yeah, I can't. Some of these things it won't let me do anything. I'm getting stuck in the middle. All right, let me try this. Okay.
We're still live though, so we're good.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, well, let me see. I don't know if I can play. All right, it'll let me play. So this is a shot, and so they come right back down, and it won't let me scroll back, huh? Fascinating. I've never seen that before, ever. Okay, and I can't even move anything. Okay, let me see if I can't. I won't be able to turn off my screen share. I'm frozen, stuck that, and I can't go backwards. This is the problem because I want to show everybody, replays. All right, well, anyway, I'm going to have to come back. There's nothing. I don't know if I have any other choice, Combo.
Well, just explain what happened in your mind.
I know, but I need to go back. I need to be able to scroll back on this video. It won't let me do it. And I won't be able to turn off the screen share. This is terrible. Anyway, can you handle it for 1 second? I'll be right back.
Okay. Let me answer some questions, man. Let me look. Let me
see if this does it. I can't even force quit. All right. I'll be back in a minute. I might have to just restart everything. Jeez. All right. Sorry. I'll be right back. If I can, I don't know if I can do anything.
Braun asks, I'm going to go through some questions.
All right.
Braun asks, can a big be the greatest player of all time, especially when the longevity is not usually there except for Kareem? I don't think a big could be the greatest player of all time unless that big initiates offense, in my opinion, because you can't start the offense. You need somebody to get you the basketball. But the way the game has evolved now, a big can be because they're playing all the positions. So, Coach Nick, you still there or not?
I'm going to have to restart.
Okay. There is no GOAT, just lots of greats in different eras. There could be some truth to that. It's all perspective. But then again, that's what drives content because everybody has their own perspective and then everybody could argue. So I guess there's some truth to that. But we all know who's in that conversation. I think it comes down to Michael Jordan, LeBron James, even Kareem, Bill Russell. There's some guys that you just can't throw in that conversation. I think that's pretty much consensus. So there are some GOATs. I would agree with that. I think Michael Jordan had the greatest career. I don't think there's ever been a basketball player better than LeBron James. So however you want to look at, I don't know if you agree or disagree, but J.R. Smith would be Jordan in the 90s by Dave Wu, 8938. I disagree. I don't think J.R. Smith would be Jordan in the 90s, but I see what he's trying to say. He's trying to say that every generation gets better, every generation gets more skillful. And by the way, J.R. Smith is ridiculously talented basketball player. He was very athletic. He was very skillful. I actually guarded him once. The thing when I guarded J.R. Smith was that I realized is that he kind of has what he wants to do in his mind before he actually does it, instead of sometimes reading the game. So I think that's why him and LeBron were such a great fit together, because LeBron could kind of think for others, and that kind of helped JR.
All right, let's get to this while we're waiting. So sorry, Ventu Storch, thank you so much for the super chat, and sorry for that delay. I think it's working now. We'll get back to it.
I get better. By the way, I get better and better at monologue every time we do this. Just letting you know. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, it's only happened one other time, right?
Yeah, and I got better. But go ahead though.
All right.
It's not about me.
Properly guard shooters with that sway motion with the legs like SGA in the Spurs game. What athletic on-ball defenders can Lakers trade for? Great question. Do I have that clip ready? So if you missed it, that was the big one in the Spurs and OKC where SGA did a step back and a little bit of a fadeaway. So when you shoot the ball and you're in the air, especially when he had to elevate pretty high over a good contest by Harper, and you extend your arm out, a major limb out away from your body, there is a natural reaction by your lower limbs to move forward as well as that balance, like a dolphin shape. So that was what happened. He ended up, did he embellish? Did you see that play?
Tell me more. Are you talking about
SGA got a landing space foul on Dillon?
Yeah, we talked about. I texted you this morning. You asked me about it. I would say SGA did flop, but the defender did get in his space as well. So it was a foul, but SGA flopped on top of it.
Right. And so I had basically said that, and people are not well on Twitter. I'll just tell you that there's just a general not wellness to people and what the things they're willing to go out and say. What
was the craziest take about this on Twitter?
Well, I mean, they're all. Here's the thing: there is no way you're ever going to convince me that he threw his feet forward like that and to risk an ankle sprain on purpose. Like, I'm just not going to believe you.
I'm sure if you know your body, there's a way to do it without risking an ankle sprain.
So that was what I was thinking. Do you think that he figured if I throw it out forward enough that I'll kind of land on my butt and I won't roll my ankle?
Yeah, I think like if I knew what I was doing, I think I could still flop without risking. And everything's always a risk, right? But I think I could minimize that from happening if I really wanted to do that.
So flopping is so prevalent in your mind, basically, that it just is happening. Because I don't think you're really thinking about that either. He was trying to make a shot. It was a little short, but it was online. Like, he gave a good run. So
keep talking. I'll look at it again. Keep talking. I'll look at it one more time. Go ahead, though.
Yeah. But, right. Because it's like I have plenty of shots where he sways his feet forward on his similar shots, right? If I line him up and I realize that his foot landed another 6 inches forward than it would normally, like, what does that tell me? That tells me, oh, okay, and he did throw his feet forward to make contact. I mean, okay, maybe. And by the way, I kind of gone back and forth on this one. I've watched it about 1,000 times.
He did. He threw his feet forward. I don't even think it's an opinion. I think it's a fact.
He threw his feet forward and risked a severe ankle injury.
I think you could do it without risking a severe ankle injury.
Oh.
Watching the video, that's what I just saw.
But like, you do that. And the reason why we had that foul to begin with is because of, Kawhi was out for that whole series after the ankle from Zaza. So it's like, and Steph doesn't get this call a lot of the time, or it hasn't in the past, just because he would really flail his legs out. And I think it was only because he was worried about an ankle sprain, not because he's trying to draw the foul. And so they wouldn't give him anything, which is weird because there was a lot of contact on a lot of those threes he would take through the years. So, all right, I guess I find that hard to believe that he would do that, unless you're going to argue, which is maybe the argument. He is just so used to throwing himself into defenders and creating contact and being this person that he's just going to do it. It's natural.
Make that defender invisible in that video. You'll see that SGA moved his feet in an unnatural motion, and that's what he was trying to do, from my perspective.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, listen, if you're going to tell me that, I guess I'm going to have to believe it.
Yeah, I just watched it. I think he definitely moved. I think it was unnatural the way he landed.
Right. I mean, listen, there's a natural sway, right? So the unnatural part you're going to argue would be like the extra 6 inches he added to it.
Yeah, he definitely added some sauce to it.
All
I'll
right.
look at it one more time again.
I believe that he would do that and risk that injury. And I don't know if I'm sold that you're going to tell me he could do it without the risk.
I don't see why not.
Anyway,
And also, you don't think that's a risk that players have took before?
In a December game, I don't know. It seems like I don't know. I think maybe what I'm saying is it which makes it worse for SGA is that he is just such a normal baseline thing for him to be creating contact no matter what that he didn't even think about it. It happens.
I mean it is split second stuff.
You know what I mean? Do you understand that? Like
yeah.
that would be the only.
Also, how would you risk injury if your butt's going towards the ground while your feet are going up? There's no.
Yeah. You'd have to put your probably hands down at that point. Like,
you're in that situation. You're probably risking a tailbone injury more than a sprained ankle. The way he did it.
Yeah. Well, okay. Again, that's not easier to overcome. That tailbone injuries are tough.
Yeah, definitely. It was an unnatural motion for sure.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess it took me. It'll take me long enough to get to that point. Yeah. I guess I could tell you that. Yeah, I'll be able to find other versions that are not as far forward as that one is. Okay, but I just can't believe. The only thing I'd be able to believe is that if you want to go real cynical and just say he's that guy now who will just draw foul by any means necessary.
But Coach Nick, it's not about like believing or not believing this or think he'll risk injury. If you watch the video, you'll see that it was unnatural.
Okay.
Yeah.
But unnatural then also assumes imply intentional.
He intentionally, yeah, I would say so.
And that's the issue I'm getting to. It's like, okay, he's going to intentionally risk spraining his ankle or a serious injury.
But
and you're thinking that he understands there's a way to somehow land and sort of hover before he lands.
I don't think he's thinking that much about all of it. I think he knows his body.
I think that's your point. He's not thinking about it. So that's the answer is that he's just conditioned to create contact and doesn't even come up.
Yeah.
It's the only way I would be able to understand that.
I did weird things to get foul calls when I played.
Which is a vicious criticism of SGA, if you think about it.
Vicious? Right? I mean, I'm telling you right now, I did interesting things to get foul calls when I played. I don't think it was vicious.
Well, but it's not. It's vicious. It's a vicious criticism in the sense that here's a guy who's flopping so much that he can't even control it anymore. He's just
And I don't think you're thinking about, especially when you're in a good state. You're not. When I go to the gym, I'm thinking about not getting injured. But when a player is at his best, at the highest of levels, he's not thinking about I'm not going to get injured in this play. He's trying to draw the foul. He's trying to get a bucket. You know what I mean? Even if you pump fake and go up, you could blow out a shoulder. You could get an elbow to the head. I mean, if we're always thinking about that, you're not going to be in your natural state of playing,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, this one's particular is interesting only because it's not the one I'm jumping in where I can control my body or whatever. This is when you're on the way down and, I don't know where the feet are and I could land with my ankle on his or my foot on his foot and roll it. That's the kind of stuff you don't control as easily. The thing that you described before, like you're running on the ground already, you can control that. So I'm just saying, if you want to get to as far as saying that he intentionally swayed a lot more to draw the contact, well, then I think the only natural explanation would be that he doesn't even, it's just his natural state. That's how he does it, which is sort of proves the criticism that everybody has for him, and I'll try and defend him and saying, well, he's going to the basket, he's quick pulling and the guy's reaching in. It's all these whatever. But the argument has been, right, and we've all heard it. That's not what he's doing. He is simply just trying to draw a foul and doesn't try and score every single time. And he's willing to even do that in the air, or simply it's such a baseline mindset for him. It doesn't even think about it anymore. He's just drawing fouls no matter what.
He takes advantage of the rules and the way the game is called to the highest of levels, and maybe he does it more than anybody else ever before. I'm not even the biggest SGA guy. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. Yeah.
And if you want to say I've never played before, I'm the guy who is the awesome shooter that people would gun underneath my feet all the time. So I'm that guy. And I sprained my ankle at least once I can remember in that situation where the guy like tried to contest and was underneath me and I landed on him. So that's not what it is. But if it is that that's his baseline, he just simply has to draw a foul. He just can't not do it. Then that would be the most sense to me. Which again is a severe criticism of SGA as a player. You might
Yeah,
this is the moment right here where I've decided.
Whenever one of my videos go viral, I get at least one of those comments.
Now, that said, the rule book does not care one iota whether you sway your feet 6 inches farther than what you normally do, right? The only rule book only cares about the fact that
I thought they did. I thought they did something with the unnatural shooting motions recently.
But it does not rise to that. That very specific language, it has to be like a lot of times to kick out. Also, I think it requires that the defender has to react, has to fall. There has to be some nature to the defender reaction to also lead to an offensive foul on a kick out.
I remember something about unnatural shooting motions as a point of emphasis, though. Is that true or what?
No, what that is, it's a component, but the other part of it is the reaction of the defender. There has to be a reaction of the defender, and there obviously wasn't one. So that it would the only thing you could hope for would be a no call.
Okay.
So and again, I tried telling people that, and if you want to argue no call, it's great. It's just it's tough because it's all right there. All right, let's get to our next one, and then I can try one more time to finish up the Lakers. Modern NBA rules, although am I smooth? Am I okay? Okay. Modern NBA rules heavily favor offense over defense. In my opinion, OKC and SGA have mastered the art of exploiting the rules. It's a boring watch. Great. I mean, this is a good conversation. So the rules have always favored the offensive players. We can't make up like it's suddenly the modern rules. Now, if you want to say like the hand checking, impeding progress, those add additions, okay, for sure. But the onus has always been on the defender to avoid the contact in most situations. They're the ones who have to avoid the contact of the offensive player. It's always been that way. So I get it, and that's why it's like, how do you really adjust the rules on that end to make it less fair? Short of just sort of telling refs, hey, just cut out some of those. Just don't call the foul that you see.
Bring back the hand check, says somebody who loved the NBA in the 90s. That's what they would say.
Yeah.
I mean, the 90s was cool. It was just different, You know
what's funny about the hand check, though, is in theory, there are moments when you're trying to hand check where you're not in great position to move defensively, where you get beat because it's almost like a reach.
I mean, Derek Harper was pretty good at it. And I got the right Derek Harper this time. I know I usually, yes, I did, but he was good at it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and by the way, I've seen the demonstration, like 2 fingers could hold somebody. You only need 2 fingers on the guy and you can really.
I mean, because, it's a game of inches.
Yeah. You know what? I might be down for that. I might be down for saying, go back to letting hand checking. Now, and they kind of let it, right? I mean, we see plenty of times where the guys are making contact at the waist while the guys.
I don't know. Lou Dort plays. That whole team plays very physical. I think what frustrates people around the NBA about OKC is that they let their players play so physical and then you can't touch SGA. I think that's a big complaint I hear.
There's no question that they're linked inextricably. And to me, it's like, well, let's talk about the plays that you don't like. Okay. And let's talk about, there are separate. Every play is a snowflake and they're individual. But I get it. I'm not going to argue that, like, it's a little bit immature is not the right word, but it's like, well, Johnny's getting away with it over there. Like, I get that, from a fan standpoint. From a ref standpoint, it's like, well, each individual play. And there are teams that are playing plenty physical. Phoenix is one of them. They're doing all sorts of handsy stuff. We're the Spurs. We're seeing all sorts of stuff where guys are getting handsy and being physical all over the place. I don't know. I think it's because SGA on offense makes everyone want to focus as much on the defense. Although I guess we've always heard the defense. It's an interesting conundrum that OKC it specifically is getting a lot of ire that I just don't. I feel like every team is doing a lot of this. You know what I mean? So that must mean that it's SGA, it's the lightning rod here, inviting everything in. And then it's like, oh, well, they're looking around the store and they're like, well, look at that too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I see. Yeah, I see. It makes it seem even worse.
I think the foul rating by SGA is getting them in, and then they're like, and then that kind of leads to stuff, and then that's making them a little bit myopic in terms of the defensive stuff, and they're not seeing other teams doing the similar stuff that OKC is.
Ooh, nearsightedness, myopic, right?
Yeah, can't really see it, Mr. Magoo.
It's good stuff, man. Good word.
Thank you. I try. I used to teach.
I just wanted to explain to the people what it was in case they didn't know, but that's a great word.
Yeah, I was an English teacher.
Amazing.
Anyway, so
we should do like a word of the day at the end of the show. Yeah.
So I asked you, I don't know if I asked you this, but I was talking to some trainers because I'm like, okay, the trainers will tell you, like, accountants will, find
trainers will tell you. That means you're grouping them all together. Okay. Let's go.
Oh, this one, I think they'll all tell you. When you hire an accountant, they're going to try and find ways to avoid the taxes, right? Like loopholes. So just as that happens, and everyone's okay with that, trainers are seeing these loopholes and they have to train it. They have to have their players take advantage of these things, right? That's how they win. That's how you get the other team in foul trouble. You get free throws, you win. So, because otherwise you'd say, well, stop doing this, stop training, stop looking to find these, these.
Well, this is at the you should find loopholes at the highest of levels. I think the first point of emphasis should be getting good at basketball, because I feel like trainers are training players that aren't good at basketball yet NBA loopholes.
Yeah. Well, listen, when I had players who are not as physically talented as the opponent, in terms of quickness, explosion, speed, height, what would you teach them? How to draw fouls. That's the way you are supposed to negate, that advantage, the natural advantage.
I would try and make them better shooters and passers and ball handlers over time.
You become a better ball handler when you learn how to use your body, because they are that much longer than you, and they're going to be pressing and all that stuff, especially at the high school level. It's really, really, it's overwhelming. I don't know if you know what it's like, but like I've been involved on both sides of that, where I've had overwhelming talent and then no talent, right? And you have to learn how to coach out of the back. So certainly, like going to the basket, finding that contact, and then veering away to finish, right? That's really important. And everybody teaches that, right? So this is just sort of, I think what the difference now becomes is that SGA is the guy who's using that, and he's also the most talented physically as well, right? And it's kind of like, when the Warriors started using the three ball, you could argue was the equalizer for the teams that didn't have a lot of talent. They could maybe equalize and mitigate some of those issues, and they can use the bomb. Well, when the Warriors had both the physical talent and they could shoot threes, this is what becomes unfair about it, right? Well, but why should they ignore that? That's the rule. That's the part of the game that they should be able to exploit too.
And they changed the volume in which teams shoot it at. Like nobody was shooting that many threes in the NBA. So
right. So they exploited that loophole that was not really supposed to be for the teams that are already so physically talented, particularly when they had KD, for instance. And so, it's not their fault. It's not. So SGA is 6'6". He is ultra quick, right? I think he's probably like one of the quickest twitch guys in the league, right? His little delay into a attack gets him by everybody, right? Now, also you can argue they're scared to foul him, right? Which again, this must be great for him. This is amazing. No one wants to get near me now, right? That's the goal. But then you see him do the moves without a call, and they're awesome. He looks like Kobe.
Yeah, I think he's definitely. I mean, he's quick, but I wouldn't say he's one of the quickest guards in the NBA either.
Oh, I don't know. I
think what makes him different is the unique cadence he plays in. He is an underrated athlete. I'll give you that. It's the unique cadence and the positions he could get into as a ball handler.
Yeah, and I've seen people say he's baiting when he's actually getting around the guy, and they're like, that's baiting. I'm like, no, that's his amazing ability to be like at the 45-degree angles to the ground and still accelerate.
I think that's his superpower even more than the quickness. But I do think he's an underrated athlete. Like he gets to the rim quick too. Like he got popped for sure.
Yeah. And so it's like he's just hard to guard, and people who are hard to guard, you end up having to foul him to stop him, and that's sort of what happens. Although it's funny having talked to you now about the whole sway and actually speaking out loud, having gone through on Twitter, whatever. You know what? I had this video prepared about comparing him to Ant, because everyone wants to say Ant doesn't get the free throw, doesn't get foul calls, and SGA gets every one of them. And it turns out Ant gets way more foul calls on his drives, way more. And guess what? 45 players in the NBA in terms of foul frequency on drives get way more than SGA, or get more. So SGA is exploiting it. There are moments when I can see people why they're upset, but it's not at a very high volume. And then what it's turned into people's heads is it's every time. And in reality,
is it per drive or just amount of fouls? Because he doesn't even play the fourth quarter a lot of times.
Per drive.
Per drive, okay.
Which normalizes, because he drives more than anybody by a lot, right? Or by a significant margin. Whereas, so the numbers he's getting more free throws than everybody, but he's driving so much more. He's not getting the calls on those drives as much. But again, just by driving the basket doesn't mean you should get a call, right? That's the other thing. Each drive is separate and individual, but it's this notion that's built up in everyone's head out of the hatred of his game that it's every time. And that makes it worse. That heightens the anger, I think, because they think it's every time, and it's not. It's not even close. You know what I mean? You know how many times he's drawn that quick pull foul into the guy?
Do you like watching him play?
Well, let me answer that question. How many times this season do you think he's done that really quick pull into the shot, and get the foul?
How many times exactly?
In the entire season. In the how many games they played? 26, 27, 28 games?
I wouldn't know that, Coach Nick.
10.
10 times in the whole season?
The whole season.
Okay. Do you like watching him play?
Okay. I would like watching when he's doing the amazing individual moves and getting those shots up and scoring. Do I like watching the ones when he gets fouled? That's probably the question you're asking, right?
In general. Yeah, I'm just asking in general.
Well, and by the way, I love watching him play defense because when you watch a team play defense like that, that's exactly how you would coach it. You know what I mean? You want your team to be physical. You want to show your chest. You want to cut guys off. You want to have incredible energy and explosion on the defensive end, right? All the things they're doing. This should be lauded. You know what I mean? But I think it's because of what SGA is doing on the offensive end that it's like it's gotten, more of that. I think. Although I remember like the Caruso stuff on Jokic being insane. And I got to tell you, the Caruso stuff guarding Jokic was nothing. Like that was just defense. That was good defense down the stretch. And, listen, it's a little bit more physical down low anyway. We all know this.
I wonder if the Knicks are going to try and put like a small on Wemby, like a Josh Hart tomorrow.
They tried that with J-Dub. How well did that work?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, Wemby's a problem.
And Wemby only had 2 offensive rebounds, and yet
who would you rather guard Wemby, a Cat or Josh Hart?
I think you got to go with somebody a little bit bigger that can at least hold him off the boards. Even though when he's not offensive rebounding, it's a gang thing for them where they have to gang up on him, and then someone else gets the offensive rebound.
Yabusele's body type seems like it'd be a good match for Wemby. But he hasn't been having a good season this year.
No, and he's like what 6'7" at tops.
Yeah. I mean, he's bigger than Josh Hart, but you got Cat, you got Mitch,
right? Because what's his J-Dub is 6'6" or whatever. It's 11 inches he's giving up or whatever. It's like that's just a little bit rough. But the point could very well be you're going to give up 5-6 inches no matter what.
Who do you think will become the better player, Stephen Castle or Jalen Williams?
Stephon Castle or Jalen Williams?
Stephon Castle or Jalen Williams.
Wow. I mean, Castle's got more burst, right? And there's a natural athletic ability there
and he's a better game manager.
Maybe, but maybe not.
He plays with better pace. Jalen Williams is more like I'm a scorer, Yeah.
I mean, there's decisions that Castle's still getting better at running the show and whatever.
But he's more of a guy that you could run a team in the future than Jalen Williams can. Jalen Williams is more of the 2-guard mold.
Yeah, so that's for sure.
Yeah.
Castle's got the ceiling is very high.
I agree.
Yeah, he's terrific, and that's why Fox will probably be expendable at some point for them, and they could maybe.
But Fox is just a guy that could help them this year in the playoffs, though, which they're going to be there.
What's funny is because Fox's defense, I was seeing a lot of stuff where I was like, it was just bad off the ball. And then all of a sudden in that game, he made 2 or 3 just absolutely amazing defensive.
He could defend when he wants. Sure.
And so it's like I like to see him clean up a little bit more of the defensive stuff and not just be a liability on those. It's one thing to like sort of just play your position, you're not making plays. Another to be like way out of position, lose your man totally, and that's a problem. But I got to tell you, he made up for it. And I was like, whoa. And I don't remember seeing Fox doing that kind of stuff. I got to go back and remember what it was. But it was like maybe a block shot or something. And then he came all the way over for a deflection or something. That was great.
Wemby.
So, and then he was really good offensively. So, win now mode for sure. They're not really in win now mode, I don't think. But we'll find out. Maybe they'll flip it.
Turn that corner quick. And then Wemby's a guy who could kind of like clean up for a defensive player's lack of defense.
Yeah.
A skilled guard's lack of defense. That's why I always want to see like Trae Young and Wemby. What would that look like?
Can I just finish the LeBron or the Suns thing? Sure. Because we went over I had like a couple more plays.
Go ahead.
And it was because it was insane. And
I got a hard out in like 5 minutes. But go ahead.
Oh,
it's 2 already. Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? We don't have to do. I guess I'll do the video. But maybe it was the one. I mean. The only thing we were talking about, one thing I want to talk about real quickly was Dillon Brooks, hits a 3, and there was a foul on LeBron, and he hits him he does that. Okay, speaking of vet moves, we talked about how Devin Booker pulled on his jersey, right? LeBron gives him a Cobra tap to the chest. Did you see that with his right arm? And that's a foul. But, it was subtle, it was quick in there. Nobody could see it. There was probably something messy in there on the landing, too, that wasn't happy with. And so the point being is that after that happened, Dillon Brooks, in his mind, here's the problem. Dillon Brooks gets everybody out of their mind. He gets out of his mind too. So he steps up to LeBron and bumps him, right? But then hilariously tries to quickly say he's guarding him. I'm just guarding him. It's like it's a full court press, right? And the refs got in there. And if it wasn't Dillon Brooks, he might have gotten away with it. But because he's got a reputation, it's going to happen. So they gave him a tech. And remember, the only thing I wanted to do was see who was on the court at the time. I can guarantee you, Rui, everybody else on the court at the time when he was playing, Luka, Rui, Laravia, and Smart. All those guys, I suspect, are having a higher free throw percentage than LeBron. Why does LeBron shoot this technical foul?
They had something with the reporters asking JJ about it, where JJ was saying that he thought that they wanted Luka to be the guy to take him.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. And then he just shrugged.
No, I think LeBron just went up and they figured it out on court. I don't know exactly what the conversation between JJ and the reporters were, but they talked about it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to check that out because that was that is the answer. There's no question that LeBron never should have been anywhere near that free throw line.
That's back to the Dillon Brooks thing.
Yeah. So he was so upset. Like I'm going to put me. I'm going to make this a stamp thing approval, and almost came back to bite him in the neck. Now Booker fouls, hand part of the ball, wrist. That was tough. But the point I want to make on that one was because Booker is to this day saying that he only hit the hand. Right. And remember, if you strip and you get the hand on the way up on a shooter, the hand's part of the ball. And I feel like people don't recognize that, or they heard that once and they thought it's only for lower levels. I don't know, but it's they certainly have it for the NBA. You can't really be in that situation. Okay. You just challenge the shot, put your hand up. It was 3 seconds left. You're up by 1. Just, put the hand up. That's all you can do. You can't risk that situation there where they call the foul and then they give him 3 free throws, of which he choked the first one, but then to LeBron's credit, he hit the other 2 to take the lead and they won the game. But you can't be in that situation. That happened to me when I was a senior, and I almost lost the game for our team because I was just too close in a similar situation, and I just should have known. Just it was almost a 3/4 court shot, and I kind of put my hand up near a guy baseball throwing it, and the guy. I think I told you the story, right?
Yeah. We have a super chat. I was going to say.
Okay, let's get to that real quick. Yeah. You got to go. All right. Brunson revived my. Oh, sorry. So Stinky Dipey, great to see you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Brunson revived my love for b-ball after so many trash New York years. It's so fun to watch a great guard. Kate isn't in the same realm as him as a scorer. Ooh, great. You want shots fired at combo. Brunson is in that same discussion as SGA, isn't he? In terms of foul grifting.
Ooh, look at you. I don't even have to say anything.
Maybe that's the video. I have a video, Ant versus SGA. And by the way, Ant does that same quick pull as well.
Yeah, look. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that foul grifting thing. I'm not so mad at the foul grifters. Brunson is a top 10 to 15 player in the NBA. He's a great player. Just
and Kate intense, and they play tough like those Knicks teams. So absolutely,
it's fun. But Cade has been a top 7 player in the NBA this season. So I mean,
before we get to that, I know. All right, really quickly, I got in the last minute. Foul grifting, Brunson, no.
Yeah, but I don't look at it like that. I think grifting gives it a negative connotation. I think they're playing to the advantages of the rules and the way the game is called, the way I used to do when I played. So you know what I mean?
Well, what happens if the majority of fans disagree with you on that one? Does it matter?
Well, the majority of fans love Jalen Brunson and where I'm from, and they're not saying anything negative about
Listen,
Jalen Brunson.
Suns love Dillon Brooks.
They think Jalen Brunson is prime Michael Jordan here. They are not calling him a foul grifter where I'm from.
Okay. Well, of course. Okay. So the fans of the New York Knicks, will not do this.
Well, that's what I'm around.
It's an interesting risk in terms of the NBA in general, and whether or not people are going to end up, turning off the game as they're threatening to, in a very vociferous manner, like on Twitter. Now, Twitter probably doesn't represent the real world. I hope it does not, because if that's the case, humanity is doomed from the get-go. Combo doomed.
I just tweet out my pods. I don't spend too much time on there. So
yeah, I'm gonna probably have to do that myself. Maybe get rid out of the mentions. But is Cade better than Brunson?
100%.
Because of defense
makes his teammates better. Defense. The team is better, and he's doing more with less. I mean, Brunson has Cat, OG, Mikal. Give that to Cade. On top of all that, even with the lesser team, Cade's team is better. And scoring-wise, Jalen Brunson isn't even, from a stats perspective, scoring at a way higher level than Cade this year. Cade has showed up in the biggest moments this season. His team has had more success. And then in the playoffs, Jalen Brunson is a liability defensively.
Okay.
So I would say Cade is a better basketball player. You ask 30 GMs who they're going to build their franchise around, Cade or Jalen Brunson, they'll all say Cade.
Okay. Now the Knicks are crept up there, by the way, right behind the Pistons.
They are, and they're playing great. And
Yeah.
their role players are playing great. Jalen Brunson is scoring at a high level, but
When
yeah, I mean,
hang on.
yeah,
I
they're
want to know
great,
when the
man.
Knicks play the Pistons. Let's see. Detroit. They play them on January 5th. We get to see a matchup, and hopefully they're both not injured, which is
Yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
I love playing basketball more than anything. I love watching basketball, but it's not like I'm super excited for like any individual regular season game, right? But this is really exciting. Like, money on the line. My
Yeah.
hometown team is playing. Wemby is playing.
All these games have been amazing for sure. A lot of them have. Sure.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'll meet you in Vegas tomorrow.
That'd be awesome. I would book if we had front court seats, front row seats, I would book the flight right now.
What if we had like 25th row?
I'd book it. Let's do it.
I'm kind of intrigued. Maybe with the super chat money we just got, we can fund a trip to Vegas.
How about with the whole month of
Super
Matt?
I don't know. We probably need a few more months. But
wait. Do we have the tickets secured?
No. But hey, SeatGeek, don't forget my code 2025 B-ball 2025. We'll save some money.
Well, Well, can we reach out to SeatGeek or what?
Ooh, I don't know.
We could build content around it.
We could.
Coach Nick on short form. I go viral very often.
I don't know. I think I needed to do this last week, but
Well, think about it in the future. Tell SeatGeek I go viral very often on short form content with your platform, which is close to 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and what I do on short form content. Come on, we could create some content and go to a game. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. We got the last one here from Sticky Dipey. Thank you so much, Sticky. I love your disdain for the traditional box out. It's not really a disdain, and it's not that all. Well, okay, it is. When you turn your back to the basket, yes, disdain is a good word for it. Don't turn your back to the basket. Just keep your eye on the ball. Do all the other crap with the arm bar and the whatever and back into the guy, whatever. That's fine, but don't take your eye off the ball. You hear me? You feel me, Combo?
I feel you, bro.
All right. Well, I feel bad. I kept you 2 minutes longer than you needed to go, but it was a great show. We're having a good time.
We're having a great time, man. It's always great times on the B-Ball Breakdown live show. We'll see you next Monday, unless we see you in Vegas tomorrow. We can go live from the game. Who knows?
I'll send an email. How much can it hurt? All right. Well, thank you so much for everybody out there for being part of this awesome show. Great questions. Thank you all for the super chats. Combo, I cherish you. And
thank you.
I think you made me into an SGA hater today.
I know. I was actually. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Did you call? I feel like the comments made it seem like you were pro SGA because you were saying that he wasn't grifting on that play. But that's another conversation for another day.
The tweet was that there's a natural sway to anyone's feet, which, by the way, was a revelation to a lot of people. They had no idea that people's feet will flow forward on a lot of shots.
No, of course, but that was excessive, and I don't think it was natural. Yeah, that's fine though. He's doing what he has to do to win.
Right, but you might have even gotten me closer to thinking, all right, he is excessive on purpose and like willing to risk. No, he's not willing to risk an injury. Perhaps he's such a grifter that he doesn't even think about it. It's his natural state. It's to draw contact.
Or he knows he has great proprioception. He knows his surroundings too.
Okay, look at that. You beat me with proprioception.
That might have been better than myopia. Myopic.
Yes, probably. All right. Well, Combo, thanks so much for an awesome conversation. We'll get back to it next time. And don't forget, sports fans, at B-Ball Breakdown, we're not a channel. We're a conversation. You win? Are you in, Combo?